Dear students, in this module, we're going to talk about different factors that can play a contributive role in defining the society. Because each society is characteristically different, whether those societies have evolved from simple to complex, or we find in today's world that we have different societies which are being distributed, divided into different nation states, or maybe in different ethnic or sub-ethnic communities. So characteristically, we can define these societies based on these 6 key elements. Number 1, human society is a system of social interaction, typically within geographic boundaries that include both culture and social organization. So these distinctively defined boundaries play an important role. I mean, one of the important roles, although some societies are very loosely geographically distributed, we cannot fix the boundaries for a society to emerge. For example, we see that in Pakistan, it is not a single homogeneous society that exists. These are, we find, based on different ethnic, regional, or sub-ethnic cultures. Different societies do exist in Pakistan, like Punjabi, Pashtun, Sindhi, Balochi, Gilgiti, and Kashmiri. We find a lot of variation, a lot of cultural variation in our society, in our country, that can play, that can have different societies which can be distinguished, although not geographically. There are not fixed geographic boundaries that can define that here the boundary of Punjabi community ends and the Pashtun community starts. Within society, members have a common culture, even though there may also be the great diversity within it, but still some loosely defined cultural terms or cultural norms do exist that can define that collective identity or collectivity, or the collective sense of identity, which can produce a distinguished or distinctive society. And members of society think of themselves as distinct from other societies. So that sense of distinction, because of the identity, operates as a key characteristic to make that definition of a society. And they maintain ties of their interactional ties through social interaction, their relationship ties through social interaction, and they have high degree of interdependence. And interaction is generally based on harmony, or sometimes on the basis of conflict as well. But those situations are usually mitigated through or can be or are being managed by having the complex system of social control. So social interaction is how people relate to each other, and they form those social bondings. And number 3 is the social interaction that is the key foundation of society. Because to interact with each other, we do need that medium of communication. And each of these societies possess complex but distinctive medium of communication, which we call language. Language is generally based on the vocal gestures as well as the use of symbols. So each society that we see, for example, in Pakistan, Punjabi community, they have their distinctive language. Pashtun community, they do have their distinctive language, and which is a full-fledged complex system of communication that does not need any other system of communication to be dependent to develop their ideas or to reflect their opinions for to develop those ties between or among people. The society is more than a collection of individual social actions. As we see that our sociologists, especially structural functionalists, they are of the view that society is sui generis. It means that society has its own sense of existence. In a way, it does not depend on an individual or a person. If, for example, a person dies, that person or the tasks of that person are very easily being replaced by that society, because there are other people which are readily available through the process of socialization to replace those members who die in a society. So, like Emile Durkheim described the society in this way, that it has the characteristic of being sui generis. And the central sociological idea means that society takes its own life, or it is sui generis, because it is patterned by humans and their interaction. It is something that endures and takes the shape or the structure of its own. Because we see that in today's societies, we frequently find a lot of similarities among different nation states or among different countries, where societies are holding a lot of institutions, like education institution. You will find education institutions in almost every society, religious institutions, economic institutions, political institutions. So these institutions are making the social organizations, and through those social organizations, societies are converting themselves into their key characteristic, which is being sui generis.